In our weekly news top story this week, U.S. Democrats announced today that we only have 12 years left before the Earth is destroyed. In this week's segment, Snarfblatt gets reactions from concerned citizens. Also this week, Herr Mueller issues his anticipated Russian collusion and impeachment report.
I see nothing. I know nothing.
I'm David Dinkley, and this is Weekly News. As usual, we've assembled our crack team of liberal professors, pundits, and prognosticators to help bring a sense to the magnificent chaos that we call our Democratic Party. So without further ado, let's get right to this top story.
We have 12 years to substantially cut the amount of carbon in our atmosphere, or this planet, our country, the rest of the world, is going to suffer irreversible damage. We are in crisis mode.
Oh, the pain. The pain.
Millennials and people and, Gen Z and all these folks that come after us are looking up, and we're like, the world is going to end in 12 years if we don't address climate change. And your biggest issue is how are we going to pay for it? And this is the war. This is our World War II.
Well, that's a startling claim she just made, and frankly, knowing my liberal viewers as well as I do, I'm going to invest in the stock market. Pampers. I'm going to make a killing in Pampers. Skipper, your reaction to this news?
Well, David, I find it amazing how much science has advanced since we got shipwrecked. I mean, when we got shipwrecked, we didn't have a clue that a major storm was just an hour away from hammering us. And now Democrats can tell the world is going to end in exactly 12 years' time. Dude, it's truly amazing. I should get the professor to hear this. He'd be pretty excited. Hey, Professor! Professor! The world is ending in 12 years! Isn't it great? Dude.
Looks like we lost another Democrat voter. I realize they have no brains, weak bladders, and no balls, but I thought that they had at least enough spine to stay upright for our interview. Well, let's get back to what the Democratic Brain Trust has to say about the world ending.
The scientists are absolutely unanimous on this, that we have no more than 12 years to take incredibly bold action on this crisis.
Professor, I see the skipper found you. Did you hear the news? The Democrats are reporting that the world is ending in 12 years. Your comment, sir? Well, I find that fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Why, this reminds me of the primitive Mayans of South America that thought the world was ending in 2012. And also of the Y2K cult that thought the world was ending in the year 2000. Now there seems to be a hysteria over the world ending in just 12 years. It's like cavemen used to rant about bear skins and knives, or some biblical story of flooding. It's just astounding. Are the Democrats building arks yet, David? No, Professor. That's not a bad idea, though. Maybe we can toss the House Democrats on it and ship them off to Timbuktu. Professor, can you tell us what the climate has been like on your island for the... Hold on. Yes, that's it. That's our favorite song coming on the radio. David, I'm going to have to get back to you. Okay, well, I guess the professor has his hands full, so let's take a quick break. Then we'll be back with more of the weekly news.
It's the story of a bunch of liberals who were busy making ways of sabotage. All of them were very old, with lots of money. Yes, they were very old. Till the one day when the House fought with the Senate, 'cause they didn't want to build a border wall. But the president just knew he'd get his funding and go against them all. It's the story of a jerk named Schumer, who was blocking us at every single turn. All the plans and schemes and crying in his hanky. We knew he'd never learn. The border wall, the border
And this week, the much-anticipated Mueller report on Russian collusion was released. For 2 years now, Democrats have been attacking the president for working with Russia. We've got an exclusive analysis from some top liberal analysts tonight. So let's get right to the charges against the president.
What does it mean when a president betrays his own country?
This past weekend is illustrative of what a great case officer Vladimir Putin is. He knows how to handle an asset, and that's what he's doing with the president.
Well, that's because he'd rather have a puppet as president of the United States.
No puppet.
And it's pretty clear.
You're the puppet.
It's pretty clear you won't admit
No, you're
that
the
the
puppet.
Russians have engaged in cyber attacks against the United States of America, that you encouraged espionage against our people, that you are willing to spout the Putin line, sign up for his wish list, break up NATO, do whatever he wants to do.
What about that word treason? Is that a word that should be being used?
Just take a look at the front page. This is the New York Daily News. That's tomorrow. Accusing the president of showing him shooting Uncle Sam in the middle of Fifth Avenue. Accusing him of treason, I should say.
I want to read the definition of treason because, again, I mean, it is such a strong word and kind of a shocking word to even be discussing out loud.
So the charges were pretty severe. Right now we've got Jimmy Olsen live down at the Department of Justice. Let's cut to Jimmy. Jimmy, can you hear me? What's going on down there? This is Weekly News reporter Jimmy Olsen, where we're set up outside the Department of Justice, waiting word for the Mueller report, which results should be, we're told, should be coming down any minute now. And we've been anxiously awaiting this. We're told this investigation cost taxpayers $30 million. And if it comes out that it's clean, then it would have all been for nothing. But the Mueller report, what's that? Yes, I'm told word should be coming literally any minute now. We're set up here. There's perhaps 100 other correspondents out here with me in the rain outside the doors to the Department of Justice. And what's that? My producer's telling me that we've just received word that we have a microphone line down to the Democrat chamber where they're having a meeting right now. Probably something in relation to this outcome of the investigation. And what? Well, folks, we're told that we have a microphone run down to that chamber and we'll actually be able to listen in. Can we go to that mic now? We're going to go live to that mic now. This is Jimmy Olsen for the Weekly News. Thank you, Jimmy, and thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week. I'm David Dinkley, and this is the Weekly News.